The MoneroTopia weekly news segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange.
Tony.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. How you doing?
Good. It's beautiful outside. It was kind of hot last weekend, but now it's beautiful weather, so it's a nice day. Yeah.
It's cold over here, although it's sunny. It's sunny today. Can't complain. There's some sun out. It's
Actually
just cold.
snowed at my house the other day,
Wow.
and then it disappeared within the afternoon.
Oh wow.
You don't get snow often over there, obviously.
No, like once or twice a year, but
Yeah.
And then that happens where it's just it snows in the morning, doesn't really stick, and it's all gone by the end of the day. So
Yeah, Tony, we got some good news this week. Go ahead, take it away, and we'll see if anybody wants to jump up as a special guest after. Otherwise, we'll jump right into viewers on stage. Try to keep it a relatively short show. But if anybody does want to jump up as a special guest, now is your time. I will add the link one more time over here. You could go ahead and be our special guest as long as it's obviously Monero, digital cash related. You can come, tell us your thoughts. Take it away, Tony.
All right, let's get into it. Also, I gotta say, when you mentioned Warcraft 3, I used to play that game a lot, and everybody in Europe used to play that game a lot. It's such a good game. I don't have time anymore,
when I played, it was just called Warcraft. I guess it was just like the original. Are we talking about the same? We talking about the same one? Probably, right? But it was just the first version of it. It was like, it's what you like. Everybody like.
Is it like an RTS, like a real-time strategy?
Yeah. You're building
like Age of
up
Empires. That's literally
you're building up your army. You got your farms. You're building your ships, and then you're going to attack. Yeah.
Some fun stuff.
Oh my god!
So you played the first one because there's the first, the second, and I played the third.
It was like the first type of that game. I think it was literally the first. Yeah, the first.
It came out in 1994.
Yeah, it was so good. Oh my god, with our modems going.
It's a really good
I'd be
game.
calling my buddy. You're like, "Yo, sign on now. Get spark it up." And my parents be coming down. Get off the phone. We gotta use the phone.
We were doing the same in the early 2000s, and then we used to get the Dota 1 servers, which is Warcraft 3 kind of modified something, and then Dota 2 came along.
So does that game still exist in much more updated form? Is that like
so it's Dota 2, and it's very, very popular.
No, actually. Warcraft. So is that's what Warcraft has become essentially, or is there still like Okay.
Yeah, people still play it. Like people still play Warcraft. I mean, Warcraft 1. I'm not sure if anybody plays that one, but Warcraft 3. I think they still have championships today. And then from it came Dota 1 as a server on Warcraft 3, and then Dota 2 became just like a standalone game, which actually a couple of years ago they reached a 40 million prize pool for the championship.
Oh wow!
40. Yeah, it's that's why it's big. It's very big in Europe. That and Counter-Strike. Everybody plays those two games, but
dude, I fucking love Counter-Strike.
We got that Monero. You know, we've never done a show on that Monero game. What is it called? Like the Monero, like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't remember what it's called either.
I don't think it's been abandoned. I think like people are like developing on it, right? Improving it.
I haven't heard about that in like over a year.
I think it's like a thing.
I've never heard of it before. Monero game.
I can't even find it.
What is it called? Monero Village or something? Monero.
I know what you're talking about.
Or it's actually Monero's not even in the name, I don't think. But,
no, it's not.
Yeah. It's on the tip of my tongue. Tony, take it away. Yes, anybody knows we got a tip here. Kevin tipped 25 cents. Somebody was developing Monero OS, which could boot off of a USB stick and start mining on any computer in inactive hours, as only the CPU is required for the mining. That's cool. That's
interesting. Cool. Oh, TownForge. Yeah, somebody Eagle just said TownForge. Yeah.
So what the hell is TownForge? Like, I've heard about it for years now. Is it like how easy it is to get that like up and running?
It looks cool. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Like,
I'm
do
on
I
the
gotta be like a
website right now.
Linux guy to get it going, or is it like I could just throw it up here on my freaking PC?
I don't know. Maybe we should present
Sure.
it next.
Yep.
It's like that'll be the main
Yeah, that'd be cool.
you play on live.
We can have
And is like Monero integrated into it? Like you're getting Monero as points in the game or some shit?
It's only running on a test net. Yeah, I guess is what it says.
So it says on the website, mine new blocks in the blockchain to earn Pound Forge gold and to conduct transactions in a Monero-derived blockchain.
Oh, yeah, right. So it's like own blockchain. Interesting.
We should do like a MoneroTopia gaming Let's Play series.
I could get
It's
them at MoneroTopia.
Monero derived. That's the key there. It's Monero derived blockchain, not actually on Monero. Yep. But go ahead and take it away, Tony.
Take it away.
Yeah, guys. So welcome to the new section. The first thing we're gonna show the Peter Schiff video. So let's play it.
What?
It.
If I
I want
want
to show you.
if I want to send somebody my Bitcoin who's in Australia to make a payment right now, I can't just do that with my 12 words in my head, right? I gotta use one of these wallets. I gotta be able to use the network to process these payments. So it's and if you want a token that's less confiscatable, I would say use Monero, right? Because it's got a lot more privacy features than Bitcoin, so that there's fewer regulators that can see what you're doing. You don't need Bitcoin for that. But
if you go that route, then you can say that Ethereum is better. Is it?
If I
I want to see what the guy said next. But I've been following Peter for a couple of years. I've been following him since I used to be a Bitcoin maxi, actually. And I used to read his stuff back in the days, and they used to actually make sense to me. And then I just got rid of my Bitcoin maximalist ideology. And then, yeah, I like what Peter is saying and posting. And finally, he did say the.
I mean, he's very
Monero
clearly
word.
saying Monero. He's not like use something like Monero. He's like Monero is the tool that's like the most usable for that purpose, which is awesome. Like Peter, he's the BTC maxis have been making fun of this guy forever, obviously, because he's been aware of Bitcoin from the early days and has always kind of protested it. But like Bawdy said, he sticks to his principles, and at the end of the day, his arguments pretty much align with what what a lot of us here in Monero say with regards to Bitcoin. That it's no different than an NFT. It's not digital gold. It doesn't have any base utility as digital cash, and because of that, it really has no base value. And so as soon as people stop believing that it's digital gold, what is it? And this argument that it's this protocol for transacting value peer to peer. Well, there's just protocols that do that better. Like if you need to send money to somebody, you're going to want to send it privately and anonymously by default. And Peter, it's beautiful to see that he's aware of that, and that his audience, is different than the Monero audience. So that's not, he's going to be getting the word out to his people. There's, he's a lot of gold bugs that follow him. Maybe they've been reluctant to get into crypto up until this point, but they hear things like that. They might be like, huh, okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I like that he actually said the word Monero, whereas last week when we were listening to Jack Dorsey and Jack Muller, they were talking about Monero around Monero, but they weren't actually mentioning the word, and that's what most of the.
I mean, imagine if Peter came out as became a Monero guy, like the Michael Saylor of Monero. It would be a genius move on his behalf. He could really, really take it to new heights in terms of shilling it. It would just be, and it would be the ultimate troll against Bitcoiners. They would just be so angry. It would be really funny to watch and witness. I doubt that will happen, but maybe to some small degree. I don't know. I mean, he did miss Bitcoin. He basically missed crypto, and he can justify this, right? This aligns with his principles. He could say, I'm not being a hypocrite. It's not like, I finally realized something. He's like, no, I've always said that I do see it being valuable for these purposes. I just didn't think Bitcoin provided those services, and I think Monero does.
Yeah.
And now I see it gaining network effect. So I'm going to start obtaining some Monero in addition to gold. Who knows? Would be epic though.
That would be epic. And he's quite a logical person. So that's why he's been resisting Bitcoin, and he's standing by what he thinks, because it just makes sense.
Just watching the Bitcoiners like cry about it. It's so worth it. Peter, please do it. We could get him to put up a donation address. I'm sure we could, send him some Monero tips to get him started. He should accept. Does he? Because he sells gold, right? Does he accept? I think he accepts crypto. He should maybe more clear. He should more clearly accept Monero directly for gold. That'd be very cool.
If you would come on Monero Talk or MoneroTopia, and that'll be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think we could get him. I jumped in that space because I saw it going on. Somebody tweeted out. Peter Schiff just mentioned Monero, so I jumped in that space that day. And I raised my hand. I was trying to get on as a speaker, and he wrapped it up. I think I was pretty close to getting up there. Would have been cool to finally talk to him about it. But I mean, we heard him say what the most important part, that he understands crypto. He sees it's the most interesting aspect of crypto is being able to use it as digital cash. And if you're going to do that, you might as well use Monero. So he has arrived.
I feel like the other guys had a private chat, and they saw you coming in, and they said, all right, guys, close it. We can't let this guy in. We can dog.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Close it down. Shut it down. We're a fairly reasonable investor on YouTube. Did Rogan talk about it already? That's my next prediction. I can't remember if
I don't think
video
Rogan has said
on
the
him.
M word yet. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we had I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But Rogan didn't mention it, but this Turkish movie did. So let's watch this 18-second video. They kind of mentioned Monero at the end, but essentially Monero was mentioned in a Turkish movie. They stole 11,000 Bitcoin by now. It's not possible for them to sell all of it without getting caught. It's possible they convert all Bitcoins to Monero. So let's watch this. And by the way, there's no likes on YouTube, guys. So it does help a lot if you guys give us a like on YouTube. Yeah, a like, share, that helps the show.
Bizim müşterilerin anahtarlarını topluyorlar. Sadece bizim. Küçük cüzdanları bekliyorlar. Şu ana kadar 11 bin Bitcoin toplamışlar. Neco, bu 113 milyon dolar. Bu kadar parayı yakalanmadan bozdurmaları mümkün değil. Bitcoin'leri Monero'ya çevirirlerse mümkün.
Okay, that's the moment, guys.
Bitcoin'leri Monero'ya çevirirlerse mümkün.
Yeah, there's no subtitles, but just a quick mention of Monero right there. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
they really should have posted it with subtitles. That would have been.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
I mean, it's it's not great that it's being portrayed as this thing to escape, law and wash.
Well, it is great. I mean,
it's
becoming. It's known as the tool for digital cash, right? So it's that's the meme that Monero is winning the network effect for owning that meme.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So, but yeah, however, like you said, it's gaining recognition, and it's gaining, it's being known now that it's private and that Bitcoin isn't. So yeah. Then Stock Confidence 391 wrote on Reddit, Coinbase XMR comeback request. No, he said maybe now that Trump is at the White House, it's time to request some famous exchanges to bring back Monero officially. How could we do this? Any ideas? I think right now is the moment to fight. No, it's actually quite the opposite. That people in the comments said, hell no. Monero is showing real strength despite all the listings. Monero doesn't need Coinbase. Yeah, we don't need Coinbase. We don't need Binance. We don't need any of these centralized exchanges, and we can do just fine without them. So yeah, I don't want it back on any CXs, and I don't think it's going to happen regardless. So,
I mean, I've been out there making the opposite argument, really pushing it. I don't know if you noticed, Tony. I even put out
did
a
you?
tweet this week. Yeah, I mean that's been my take. You know, I think now is the time, and that's probably where this post is even coming from, because we did a Monero Talk show on it last week. We did a Spaces with Stoic, and we kind of had a little roundtable discussion on it. I am actively trying to pursue getting Monero listed on a centralized exchange in New York. Currently, to this day, there's no way for New Yorkers to obtain Monero on a centralized exchange. It's like the only state in the U.S. And it's been that way because of the bit license, which was put in place in like 2015. Monero's never been listed on any New York exchanges like Coinbase or Gemini. It is listed on Kraken, but Kraken has purposely avoided offering services to New Yorkers because of the bit license. They don't want to participate. So I do think now is the time. While I agree with you, Tony, like we don't need it, right? All these reasons, it allows us to flourish outside of, without being tethered to the fiat surveillance system, right? We're building these decentralized exchanges. It's forcing us to live outside of their system. Agree with that 1000%. And that is ultimately the way. But I do think there are positive attributes to allowing more people to access Monero. And I do think it is the best coin of any. If you have to buy anything on a central, ideally you buy your crypto by earning it, KYC free, you sell something for it, you provide a service for it, perhaps you mine it, you use cash to obtain it directly. Those are the most ideal ways to obtain it. Any crypto, most particularly Monero. But if you're some noob and you're on a centralized exchange, and that's where most people are at, that's the level they're at in crypto, if they're in crypto at all, is they're like on Coinbase. The best thing for them to do as a noob is to obtain Monero and pull that off the exchange. And that's how they should be getting into crypto, because at least now they've got into crypto the most anonymous and private way possible, even with KYC, right? So like all that's known is that, some person purchased some amount of Monero and then they pulled it off an exchange, and it's like they went out into, a dark, a black hole at that point, right? They're no longer on the radar, and now they're in crypto land with their Monero. And then at that point, they can go and obtain whatever crap coins they want to obtain. They can go trade. They can do whatever they want and then move it back into Monero. And if they want to port back onto a central exchange, come back with their Monero, and there's no history. It's like they're bringing their cash back to the bank. So that's kind of that's been my viewpoint, and mostly because I think it just gives more people access to Monero. It gets it in the hands of more people, which makes Monero stronger. The more people that use it, the more people that have access to it, the more unstoppable it becomes.
Yes, I do like your take, and and especially because, so like you said, and like I said, we don't need it on these exchanges, but like, if it is on these exchanges, like you said, so many people are using Coinbase. Every single person that asks, where do you have your crypto? Coinbase. Everybody, or where do you trade stocks? Robinhood. Everybody's on these centralized exchanges, and not many people care of the things that we do. And it will be nice to have Monero back in then, because it would also be just there and recognized, and they can actually see it. Because right now, it's not listed, and they have to purposely look into it in order to find Monero. So,
there's no easy way for a noob to obtain it. They have to go onto Coinbase, buy Litecoin first, pull it off, instant exchange it into Monero, on a like Cake wallet, for example. There's no way for them to just through their bank account, connect it to an account, obtain Monero. And what's crazy is they can do that with not only Bitcoin and Litecoin and whatever. They could go on and they could do that with Trump coin. With Trump coin, it was easier to access Trump coin from the first moment it was launched than it's ever been easier to access Monero, which is just crazy if you think about it. And it just shows you how backwards the regulation is, right? That like the whole purpose of any of these regulations, or one of the main purpose, what the purpose should be, right? What they sell the purpose as, is to protect people. And here we are in a scenario where crypto's been around for like almost 15 years now, and yet the crypto that offers the most base utility, people don't have access to. But complete shitcoin meme coins that are just used for gambling and end up hurting 98% of the people that buy them because they get rugged. Oh yeah, you could access that without ease. So like it just from a policy standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. It just shows you that the regulations are not working as intended. And all we're doing is cutting people off from true utility and just directing them towards shit and gambling and, being able to participate in debauchery.
And I think Coinbase likes it because their fees are so high, and they know that if they have these shit coins on the platform, a lot of people would want to buy it, and it's very easily accessible. And they make so much money from the fees that they don't really care that is going to scam people. I've actually went on the subreddit for Coinbase, and every single post is a complaint. Somebody got scammed, something about shit coins. It's insane. But MeGold66 said on YouTube, Monero would outlive every CX that is around today. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Simon,
I ultimately see Coinbase as the AOL of crypto, right? It's like it's the bridge that bridges noobs into crypto, just like AOL bridged noobs into the internet. People thought they were on the internet when they were on AOL. You guys are like just like back to the earlier days, right? Like when people were playing Warcraft 1, they were also getting on the internet via AOL, and like they thought they're on the internet. They had like the forums, but it was all on AOL. It was a completely walled garden, right? And that's what Coinbase is. It's the walled garden of crypto. It's very noob friendly. You think you're using crypto, meanwhile they're holding your coins and whatnot. But there's life after that, and that's once the walls are torn down and true crypto blossoms, just like the real internet blossomed, and that's when Monero will really thrive.
Yeah, I like your take. And also, actually, since we're talking about Coinbase, I've seen a couple of posts on the subreddit where people complain about because Coinbase has so much information about you that some people got their Bitcoin or crypto moved around by the platform itself, and they didn't even have an idea about it. If you want to look into it, go on the subreddit. It's crazy, but people had quite good amount of crypto moved around out of their wallet without them even doing that transaction. It's crazy.
So for saying, Ron Doug, the policies do make sense and they are working as intended.
Wink,
Fiat
right there.
don't want to be replaced. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, that's the true intention of these policies, right? Is to cut people off from something like Monero that would allow people to truly opt out and create a parallel economy outside of the state surveillance system. But the way they sell these regulations is that they're using it to protect people and to prevent financing of terrorism, to prevent money laundering, and to prevent people from being able to get pulled into scams. But yes, we all know there are real reasons for these regulations.
Lucifer said, if I buy Monero off an exchange, every Monero transaction after that I do, if the price goes higher, it's going to be a taxable event here in Australia. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. And Simon asked, Tony, are you Hungarian? I'm Romanian, but my grandfather is from Hungary, so my last name is Hungarian. Yeah, I only know how to say Sia and Michinas. But there's been a huge hack at Bybit, probably the biggest hack as I know. But North Korea now owns more ETH than all of the Ethereum Foundation, Vitalik, and pretty much everyone else added together. And this is what somebody else said on X. And they also said, to be honest, I'm more bullish on Kim Jong-un than any EF soy boy. Can't wait for him to make an official North Korean meme coin now. And if we go on the Cointelegraph article, so Bybit hack withdrawals, top 5.3 billion, but reserves exceed liabilities. So they got hacked, $1.4 billion. And obviously people try to get out of the platform. Overall, $5.3 billion in decline. This is marked as the largest crypto theft in history. And as far as I know, yeah. with attackers stealing more than 1.4 billion in liquid staked Ether, mantle staked ETH, and other ERC20 tokens. They did say Bybit's exchange reserves still exceed its liabilities according to its independent proof of reserve. Today's hack was massive, a tough hit for the industry. But here's the bottom line. Bybit's reserves still exceed its liabilities as their independent PR auditor. We've confirmed that user funds remain fully backed. And they said that we've confirmed that user funds remain fully backed. So Bybit has enough reserves to cover all user assets. Solvency remains intact. Security and transparency stay in priority. I've heard some different takes on X, but yeah, if everybody's getting their ETH back, that's been stolen, great. But yeah, it's when you think of North Korea, it's kind of funny and not funny how they're just basing themselves out of hacks and nukes. That's that's the only thing that they're working on, just how to bomb the world and how to hack the world. It's what a crazy communism. And now this one is interesting. I think we talked about Apple last week or 2 weeks ago, and we've been talking about how the UK wants Apple to remove their security from UK's Apple users, and I guess it's official. So 1 week later or 2 weeks later, but Apple surrenders to the Labour government and removes highest level data security tool for Apple users. The government now has access to its citizens' messages and camera roll. This is the biggest breach of privacy Western civilization that has ever seen. Britain is in big trouble. I mean, I've expected a move like this from the UK, but I've been thinking if Apple would actually do something like this, and I guess they did, because they care about the market cap, they care about the profits more than they actually care about security. I was thinking, will they pull out of the UK, just withdraw their services? Of course not. UK has a lot of people. So I guess, yeah, Apple is rolling back advanced data protection from iPhones in the UK starting Friday. How insane this is. Without ADP, Apple and the UK government could decrypt iCloud data. And I'm not sure. I don't think this would be in the news in the UK, so I'm not sure how many English people would be aware of this, and then I don't know how many would actually care about it. But yeah, just the UK and the police and how they're just looking for every piece of evidence to imprison you. Like if you make a remark about the government or something that they don't like. We talked about this in the past. So yeah, I guess now they're gonna go in your iCloud. Oh, there's a anti-governmental image. Okay, let's go after this guy. I guess, and with AI, they can do that way more easily. But yeah, they've actually done it. That's insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think Apple actually had some power, if they really wanted to flex on, if they actually cared about like guaranteeing this feature to their customers, but it's clear that Apple doesn't.
Yep.
So they're like, we're just not gonna. It doesn't ultimately benefit us to fight on this, so we're not going to. Because realistically, there probably wasn't that many people that used it because it was opt-in. But realistically, from my own viewpoint, I'm like, well, if Apple really wanted to, like what's the UK government going to do? Are they going to ban Apple services? Well, that's like, I mean, how many people use Apple services in the UK and use iPhones and need iMessage? Like that would cause a massive havoc. So realistically, I don't think there's much the UK government could do. It's not like the United States is telling Apple, hey, you can't have this anymore. It's the UK. They're not, they're not as big of a dog as the not even close as the United States. And I feel like they could, if they really wanted to, they could flex some power, be like, we're just not going to. It's like either remove our services, block our services via DNS or not. But Apple doesn't want to do that because it's money. So
that's what I thought. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like if Apple says no, like we're not going to do this, what is the UK going to do? But the iPhone maker said, as we have said many times before, we have never built a backdoor, blah, blah, or master key, blah, blah, to any of our products or services, and we never will. Then what is this? You just allowed the UK to just spy on people.
Neil stepped to $1.22. Oh no, how can a for-profit company take away my privacy? I thought Apple had my back on the privacy side. It's just that they got more money from UK government's request than from actually harvesting misled users' personal data. Privacy. That's iPhone.
Yeah. I have one. I'm a regards, iPhone regard. I have one, unfortunately. It's yeah. Then maybe I'll switch one day. I don't know. It's just that the ecosystem is so, because you got the iPad, you just gotta break out of it.
It's that walled garden, man. It's comfy if you're in.
It is. They just lock you in, like, all like decade of having it, all my pictures, everything. But God, I hate what they're doing. Galaxy, iPhone users, BTFO, Galaxy with Graphene OS. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on, guys. Let's see what we have. SEC withdraws its appeal in case of a crypto broker dealer rules that would have given the agency jurisdiction over decentralized crypto protocols. So SEC withdraws its appeal. Somebody said in the comments, the only decentralized crypto is Bitcoin. No CEO, no pre-mine. Yeah, it's very decentralized.
Press X to doubt.
Yeah. So decentralized. Okay, let's talk about this topic for a little bit. So Microsoft CEO wrote about their new quantum computing breakthrough that they just had. So he said on X, most of us grew up learning there are three main types of matter that matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Today that changed. After nearly 20-year pursuit, we've created an entirely new state of matter unlocked by a new class of materials, topoconductors, that enable a fundamental leap in computing. It powers Majorana 1. The first time I read this, I thought he wrote marijuana, marijuana 1 or something else. I don't know why, or Mojang. I don't know why they named it like that. But anyway, the first quantum processing unit built on a topological core. The qubits created with topoconductors are faster, more reliable, and smaller. And he said, imagine a chip that can fit in the palm of your hand, yet is capable of solving problems that even all the computers on Earth today combined could not. And then he provided a picture of Majorana 1 right here. And then if you go on the Monero subreddit, we talked about this last week, but people are concerned about quantum and potentially breaking encryption, breaking into Monero. So somebody asked if is anyone concerned about the Majorana 1 announcement. So he talked about it. But last week, and then we have in the comments, RB Runner 7, chapter forward secrecy in my recent Carrot review. So we kind of talked about it last week. If you haven't seen this post by RB Runner 7, I highly encourage you to. It's about Monero's next hard fork. It's going to be a huge update, and it's a very, very important update. So I highly encourage you look into it. It's very exciting what's going to happen. But yeah, with forward secrecy, essentially, he said he will try to explain in more detail in a later post what that means. Thus here only a quick and simplified explanation. He said, thanks to forward secrecy for transactions done using Carrot, even a fully working quantum computer won't be able to break their privacy in many important scenarios. Carrot picks some pretty sweet low-hanging fruit, so to say. So he's going to explain more about forward secrecy in future posts, but I suppose that we are okay for now. And yeah. Let's see. Talked about this. Pavel Rusnak wrote on X, if you're using Lightning network nodes older than 0.18.5 and or Lightning terminal older than 0.14.1, stop what you're doing and upgrade immediately. thieves are draining funds using exploits that were fixed in these releases. And then Crypto Nator lead wrote on X as a response, just Lightning Network things. Brother, it is 2025 and nothing works, just abandon it. And he said, no, I'm not a hater. It just simply doesn't make any sense to put resources in it anymore, does it? Let's see. Okay, then let's play this video with Elon Musk, and then we're going to get into something interesting, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. But Elon Musk said we should do a live stream walkthrough Fort Knox to verify if all the gold is there. So let's watch this video.
What's going on with? Tell us about Fort Knox.
Yeah.
It's Kentucky. It's a military base. It's a ton of gold, tons and tons and tons of gold.
5,000 tons of gold, or
5,000 tons of gold are there in the ground, and like this. I mean, it's a very secure
I think
thing.
we all want to see it.
I'd love to see it.
Like, this is your gold, by the way. It's the public's gold.
Do you think it's not there?
I don't know. But I think
you just want to see it.
Yeah, we want to go see it and just make sure, like, somebody did spray paint some lead or something,
Yeah.
Like, is this real gold? Fight at the bar,
Didn't dent.
But I think, honestly, part of this also is just like, let's have some fun and like I said, all this gold at Fort Knox, it's the public's gold. It's your gold. So, like, I think you have like a right to see it.
You want to take a tour?
Yeah, I think we should have do a tour. And then the president last night was like, I think he's in favor of it. That would be cool. And then it should be like a live tour. Like, you can see what's going on, open the door, like what's behind it.
Well, and there's,
I think I'd watch that.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, what is 5,000 tons of gold look
totally.
like?
What
How big is that? Is it the size of this?
It's got to be pretty
stage?
big,
It's got to be a lot of
Maybe
gold.
there's some other stuff in there, like just walk around, like, I don't know, maybe they got some other stuff in there.
Are you thinking about auditing the Federal Reserve as well, which is obviously is that
yeah, sure.
Regulates our economy.
I like this post that this image that somebody posted. Paint faster, Doge is almost here. And they're painting some bricks. Yeah, so I guess he's gonna live stream from Fort Knox to see if the gold is actually there. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Elon having so much power within the government so fast. I feel like we have 2 prime ministers in the United States. But anyway, let's go. Yeah, so let's talk about somebody posted on X some potential evidence that Jack Dorsey could be Satoshi Nakamoto. So yeah, I'm gonna read a couple of the slides, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. Yeah, there's some interesting synchronicities. The people in the comments are not so nice to this guy. So I don't know what to think, but he put in quite some work. So let's read into it a little bit. So is Satoshi hiding in plain sight? Jack Dorsey versus Satoshi Nakamoto. Numerology connecting the Dorseys, Cryptonomicon and Bitcoin, Mint Plaza. So is Satoshi hiding in plain sight? The key evidence consists of numerological and symbolic alignments, Bitcoin milestones aligned with important dates in Jack's life, including his parents' birthdays. That was interesting. Fascination with cryptography and decentralization, proximity to key locations. Jack residence at 2 Mint Plaza near the historic US Mint ties symbolically to Bitcoin's branding. This location was coded into early Bitcoin transactions. Actions coinciding with Bitcoin's launch, ability and motive. Just his background of scales, networking, philosophical ambitions, ongoing references and behavior. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of them, but just a couple of them. 1991, at 15 years old, Jack joins Mira Digital Publishing Company, going on to lead a team of programmers in their 30s. Then let's see. May 2003, Jack Dorsey describes his interests, including cryptography and pseudonyms, pseudonymous identities, late-night programming, and nodes. 2003, Jack blogs, I also wish to end my dependence on the American dollar, and in that vein, I'm setting up a partnering network. March 2005, .dnet adds a link to white papers. The only document is about electronic checks. 2006, Jack co-founds Twitter, becomes CEO. He tweets his favorite fashion designer is Issey Miyake, who is from Japan. May 2007, Satoshi Nakamoto claims he started working on Bitcoin at this time. So there's that. January 16, 2008, Twitter launches its Japan service. Jack tweets, returning Japanese. 2008, Dorsey's forced out from CEO due to spending too much time on hobbies outside of Twitter. October 5th, 2008, Satoshi registers an account on SourceForge under name Nakamoto2. Nakamoto was taken. December... so he's forced out. October 30th, 2008, Jack removes his personal blog on goo.st the day before Bitcoin white paper is distributed. October 31st, 2008, an individual group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto released the white paper Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So lots of these synchronicities, which let's see. This one was interesting. January 9, 2009, Jack attends an award show in San Francisco. January 10, 2009, Satoshi accidentally logs into IRC from a real IP address in California. So there's a lot of stuff like this. Now, you see the actual Satoshi Nakamoto. This guy put some compelling evidence. There's a lot of synchronicities, but I don't know. And but a lot of people in the comments tend to not agree with that. And let's see. Actually, let's skip to that. But I encourage you guys to look into it. It's an interesting and long post. Some people said, amazing take. One guy said, in the spirit of the cyberpunks, my professional advice is that you shut the fuck up. If you understand Bitcoin, you wouldn't out Satoshi. Lots of stuff like that. This looks like a shitso post. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think about this, but I guess it's worth a read. I don't know. Now, okay, and the last thing, let's listen to this ZCash Anthem, Born to Comply. It's a minute and a half.
So good.
That'll be it.
Get out on the exchange, looking for Satoshis, and approval for all my trades. Yes, ZCash gonna make it happen, make a coin that they can trace, abandoning all your principles and rest out in place. I like our taxation. Anyway, they tell me, give me regulations and banking integrations. Yes, ZCash gonna make it happen, make a coin that they can trace, abandon all your principles and crash out in place. Like a Jews have a story, we were born to comply, and we can fly so high, never wanted to fly, born to comply, born to comply.
I like this song.
Yeah,
so
he's
Born to
got
Comply.
skills. He's got talent, man. We
Yeah,
got to
he's
get
good.
him. I think I tweeted at him asking him he's got to perform live at MoneroTopia. Maybe we get him. Maybe we get him to come to Porkfest.
That'll be cool. Yeah, he's good.
Although a lot of Zcashers come to Port, and no hate on the Z. Come on, it's just good. It's just fun. It's all good fun. Maybe you can put out some other tunes, some pro Monero tunes. That one's pretty damn good though.
Yeah, that one's good. Yeah.
He's got skills.
But yeah, guys, so this was it for this week. We had quite some good stuff to talk about. And just don't forget to like and share on YouTube. There's 0 likes. I'm going to actually give one right now. So there's one. Hopefully there's going to be more. And I'll see you guys next week.